In this video, I want to actually run a model in RStan on on some data and then download the results to my laptop for further processing. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to upload the data. So I have my polls.dta file. So this is this file. It's already in my downloads on my laptop. And now what I want to do is I want to upload it to the server so that I can use RStudio server for that. So the first thing that I do is I need to upload the file. So for that, I go to Actions and Connect. That by itself does not do anything. It just gives me the opportunity to copy this line here. Okay, so I'm copying this without the SSH. Now I'm going back to my terminal and I going SFTP, and now the stuff that I copied. Now I'm on the server. So on the server, I want to change to home RStudio like this. And now I want to say put polls.dta in there. Okay, so, oh, that's unfortunate. So let me go to home Ubuntu then. So, and I'll say put polls.dta like so. That will be fine. So I will now disconnect. So I'll say bye. And I will now go and connect to the server again, this time using SSH. So I'll connect like this. Now I'll see that I have my polls.dta uploaded. I do, and that was uploaded to home Ubuntu, which happens to be the default directory here. So now here, what I'll say is I want to take polls.dta and I want to copy it over to home RStudio because that's what I want to do. If it doesn't allow me to do that, I'll do sudo of that and it'll be fine with that. Okay, so now this file has been copied. So now that it's copied, I'm ready to go back to my RStudio. So here I am. And here I'll set the working directory to RStudio. So the reason this is important is because RStudio can write to this folder, but not necessarily to other folders. Okay, so if this is my working directory now, I can check that I do have polls.dta in it. So that's all good. And I can now read my polls and subsample 500 lines from there. Okay, so that all worked out. So I can now go and read in my model. And this is the same model that we saw in class. This is the model from this web page. Okay, so this is the model. And in fact, this is the code for reading polls.dta. And now we are ready to actually run the model. And that's going to take a short little while. So in order to estimate how long things are going to take, here you can just kind of figure out, okay, like it took me whatever it is to get to 25%, then, you know, multiply that by 4. That's how long it's going to take me to run the whole chain. I'm running 2 chains here, so that's going to take twice that amount again. So the nice thing is that you don't have to be connected to the server for it to work. So I can kind of save this URL, right? But I can close this tab and then I can get back to this tab like so. And it just kept working in the meantime. So that's the big advantage of using the server over your own computer, is you can leave it to run until it's done. Of course, kind of make sure that you shut it off as soon as you can because you're paying by the hour. So, okay, in the meantime, let's write some code here. So once I'm done with this, I'll probably want to extract all the posteriors. So I'll say extract vote fit like this. And now what I want to do is I want to probably save it for further analysis because I don't want to just work on the server because I'm paying by the hour while the server is running. So I'll say save E like so. And I'll probably also save vote fit. And I'll say that the file is gonna be like vote fit data.rdata or something like this. It's gonna save in this folder on the server in home RStudio. So that is gonna be a while. I apologize, I don't know how to pause. So you can just scroll the YouTube thing until something interesting happens. So in the meantime, we can see how much we're utilizing of the compute power. And as you can see, some, so basically about half. So that means that we can actually afford to run 2 chains at the same time. So we also need to check that we are not kind of overutilizing RAM. It seems like here we're not. So here it seems, so we are using 4, oh, and we have this much free. So there is still space. Okay, so this is actually a little bit concerning. So if you have, you had like this many transitions, and out of those, this many were divergent. Maybe you should look into it, maybe not. Either way, so we're going to extract all the samples, and we're going to save all the samples to this file. So now we can download this file, and the way you would download the file. So here, what I'll do is I'll log out. Now, actually, let me start a new terminal window. And let me connect to here. Great, so that's because I'm not in downloads, so I cannot read my AWS p5.pm. So now that should be fine. So now I'm in there, so I'll go, okay, so cd home RStudio. And now we'll say get, and we'll get this file that we just saved. So it would be voltfetdata.rdata. So as you can see, it's a pretty large file, which might indicate that you might, kind of for a really large model, you might need more space than what we provisioned, although kind of 20 gigabytes is a lot. So here it turned out that we needed 134 megabytes. So okay, we can say bye. And we should be able to load this in RStudio over here. So we'll say, I suspect we'll need to fix it up a little bit, but let me say vote fit data.rdata like this. Okay, so now we have our and we have our vote fit. So it all worked out, and we can work on it locally. We can shut off the server, so that would be useful. So one more thing. So here I mentioned that we might be able to speed things up by using more of the CPU cores. So here we can say cores is equal to 2. So if you remember, when we were provisioning the server, we said that we had 2 cores, I believe. So if we run this, this would probably be faster. So here you see that what we're doing is we're essentially running both chains at the same time. So we can see, so if we connect to the server, so I'll connect to the server using SSH here. So you see we have 2 things running simultaneously, and you see that we're using 100% here. So that does not always mean that you're using 100. So it might be that you could actually use more depending on how top works exactly. But you are kind of you're running twice as fast here. You can try to increase the number of cores here, but I believe that 2 was the number of cores that we provisioned. So okay, and here kind of things are running at the same time. So okay, all right, let's say that you're done. So it's important to remember to terminate the instance. The way you would terminate the instance is by saying actions, and then here you would say action state terminate, and it'll warn us that we're destroying everything. And here it is. So we're shutting everything down, and that means that we are not going to be able to access this anymore. So still shutting down. Let's see, we're still here. So as you see, we got kicked out from SSH, and this is not updating anymore. And if I try to go here, and in fact if you try to go here, that would just stop working. All right.